5:45 to over 11:32.
There we are.
Okay, we'll go ahead and bring the city council meeting to order. I would like to ask everyone to please stand and join in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kevin, can you please do roll call?
Jenny Bowersholt.
Here.
Matt Dyer.
Here.
Tyler Fulenkamp.
Here.
Scott Murray.
Here.
Abby Wilder.
Here.
Okay, was everyone given a chance to review the minutes from the previous meeting held April 16th? Any additions, deletions, corrections?
Make a motion to accept him as emailed.
Second.
Motion in 2 seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay. Michelle's been quietly waiting back there. We'll let her come up here. Michelle's here from the Council on Aging and the new Public Transportation, Adams County Public Transport, I think it says, right?
Adams County Transit.
Transit, okay.
Right. I just wanted to update you guys on how well things are going. I'm sure you've seen stuff in the newspapers everywhere, but it's going really well. Just an overall of what we were and what we are now. The last 51 years, Council on Aging has been providing transportation for senior citizens and disabled adults. Up until just this last January, all the trips that we were giving, we were asking for suggested donations for, depending on whether it was within their city limits or within the county. 2 years ago, we were working on a grant with Bi-County Services with Tim Ramsey to kind of provide the seed money. It was $1 million grant to start up public transportation, kind of with NDOT's blessing, but kind of the grant for the seeding than NDOT. Adams County was approved for public transportation back in 2007. And the commissioners at the time decided that they didn't want to pursue it, so we kind of lost our chance back in 2007 to have public. Every year since then, the previous director, Sharon Tester, and then myself have been asking NDOT, what about another chance for Adams County? So when 2 years ago, when Tim said, well, let's try doing this grant, it kind of piqued NDOT's interest. They said, well, if you guys can get the grant, it was through Anthony Wayne Services, to get the seed money, to get the extra vehicles and whatever. He said, I would let you go under Wells County's umbrella. I'm like, okay, great. Well, we didn't get the grant. So we're like, oh, okay. Well, that kind of went to the wayside. A couple months after that, NDOT came back and said that he was so impressed with Adams County that he wanted to give us a standalone shot to not have to go with another county to provide public transportation under the Council on Aging, but expand it so that anyone in Adams County could have a ride. So 14 months is the amount of time it took me to do the grant. It's a ginormous grant. I didn't realize that that's an every year thing, so that's great. But it consists of 30 videos. You watch a video, and then you do that part of the grant, and then you watch a video, and then you do that part of the grant. And it requires a lot of signatures. It requires Adams County to be a pass-through the government. The commissioners are a pass-through through NDOT. So bottom line, we had to kick off January 2nd was our first day of public transportation. And I have numbers, and I'll give you guys them after, but as a previous teacher, I know if I hand it out now, you're just going to read the numbers. So in comparison, January through April of 2023 to 2024, we went from 1,900 trips to almost 2,500 trips. Mm-hmm. Of that, probably my favorite part is for the last 51 years, we weren't really providing transportation for employment because with seniors and disabled, that really wasn't what they were needing. But since we were able to open it up January 2nd, we provided 749 trips just in those first 4 months of the year. And you think about the benefit of those trips. It benefits the employer. We have some employers who are paying their employees transportation fees because it's worth more to them to have workers and pay for their rides than not. For the worker to have a steady income knowing that transportation is not an issue, blessing, and then for their families or their loved ones to have financial security, knowing that they're going to have a paycheck and they can count on it. So that's probably the biggest blessing, I would say, is just helping the community. The ripple effects are tremendous. As far as, like I said before, the first 51 years we were asking for donations depending on rides. Sometimes people would contribute, most of the time they wouldn't. Now we were able to, if they're 0 to 59, charge a fare, and it's strictly based on distance. And what I did to come up with the fares was I contacted Huntington, Wells, LaGrange, and DeKalb, and I took their fare structures. They're all very similar to what Adams County is, and we came up with $5 if the destination is 0 to 9 miles, $10 if it's 10 to 20, and it's $15 if it's 21 to 30. And anyone going out of the county for a medical trip only is $1 a mile. So really pretty fair. In 2023, the average cost of a trip for the agency was $36 one way, $72 for the round trip. So regardless of what increment they're at, they're still getting a hell of a deal. Even if they're at $15 when the trip costs us $72 to provide. We've never been in it for the money. We've been there to serve. So it's nice. So January through April of 23, we collected $5,800. This year it's $13,200. So more than double, and just being able to count on those fares, knowing that when we're providing a trip, we're actually still getting money for it to help supplement, is just a big plus. Up until this year, I'm curious to see how it pans out. 70% of our trips were for medical. A big portion of that is dialysis. Whether or not you know of anyone who has had dialysis, it's a big stressor on a family to take a loved one in the morning, usually 9 or 10 o'clock, and then to go back. They run for 4 hours and to go back and pick them up in the afternoon, usually around 1:30, 2 o'clock. To be able to count on us for that, all of our vehicles are wheelchair accessible, so their loved ones can go to work and not have to worry that that life-saving treatment isn't getting taken care of. I am asking, I know the City of Decatur has been wonderful supporting us over all the years. We are in our first of a 2-year demonstration phase through NDOT. What that means is this year through NDOT, they'll give us $50,000 federal money. Next year is $50,000, and then the third year, if we can prove that we're financially stable and that we can provide the service, that opens us up to a huge pot of money where we're looking at probably $300,000 federal money and another $100,000 in state money that we will have access to depending on what NDOT would award us. So I am going around to all the different governments. I was at Monroe last week. I'm at Decatur now. I've got Adams County in June, and then I will hit Geneva, and next week is Bern. So last year or this year we got $20,000 from you guys, and I was wondering if we could get $22,000 for next year. And then in the third year, I'm hopeful that my needs will diminish greatly as far as asking the local governments, and I can rely on that federal and state money and not have to go everywhere and get funding from everybody, that the federal and the state money will step up and kind of alleviate that need. But for next year, I'm asking for an increase from everywhere. Last year, I increased it from this year to $7,700, and then this year to next is $5,000. So I just need to make it through this next year and a half before we can get that big, large chunk of money from the federal. Last year, we serviced around 200 different individuals. It's going to be even more than that this year, because now we can take infants, children, everyone, and I just love it. We're offering veterans ride for free starting in January, just a small way to pay back for their service. All they have to do is show proof of either their DD-214 or their ID, just so that within Adams County they get to travel for free, just a small benefit, just to show them that we care. We're grateful for all the support that you guys, it's an enormous undertaking, and it's been worth it.
Have you had any rides for students to like extracurricular activities or anything?
Not yet, but I have had, we've given some rights to a student whose mom works at the school, so we would take him and her to work and school and then pick them up, but no, not yet.
Okay.
And I did reach out to all the superintendents about that.
Yeah. I was just hoping, there's always kids out there that may not have the parents to give them rights to sports and things that, maybe this could give that opportunity.
I think it would open up a world to them because instead of having to ride the bus home so that they would get away, now they have the opportunity that we're open till 6.
Some parents-
Our hours expanded. Yeah.
Some parents work late and just can't do it.
Yeah. No, I'm hopeful. I mean, I think there was some hesitation overall. People weren't sure how it was going to be, but it's been really well received.
Yeah. It's obviously filling a need
Yes.
from all different aspects.
Yeah. And even with like taking people out to community corrections, for example, out on Pickaway Road, I don't know if you're ever traveling Pickaway, you would a lot of times see people walking to their appointments and back. I mean, that eliminates that need for it. The Hope Clinic purchased vouchers. We have $5 gift certificate vouchers that they can hand, and we had a lady and her baby use that to get to their appointments to the WIC office. I just love things like that. I mean, it's just helping so many people.
Okay. So, her ask from you guys is to give 22 instead of 220 that we did last year.
Where does that come from, Kevin, or where did we budget that?
Promotional, council's promotion.
And we have enough to fund the additional? Okay, I'd make a motion to grant the request.
I second it.
Motion is second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All at the same time. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
You're doing great.
I will give you your handout.
Thank you.
Class of 97.
Well done.
Meetings are nice and small.
Well done.
Okay. Abby, are you giving the update on the...
Merit Center?
Yes, the Merit Center.
Yeah. You want me to do that next?
Sure.
I have the job description. Okay, so the Merit Board is looking to post a job description for a Learning Center Coordinator and would like to put it in front of the council before posting it to the public. And you'll see it come around there. That's the job description. The idea is for this individual to set up enough classes and resources in order to pay for their own salary. It's a part-time position of up to 15 hours a week, and we discussed around $15 an hour. The position will be overseen by the Merit Center Board and will be paid through the board, not city funds. And these are basically classes that are, this individual would reach out to area businesses and see what they would like their employees to have the resources for, just within the general community to see what is wanted and needed, and then those classes are held at the Merit Center. And so this person would be self-sufficient, self-funded. I mean, the goal would be they would have enough classes and such to cover their salary and such. All resumes would go to Jamie Gephardt, and then myself, Jamie, and Kelly Anger would be on the interview committee. They've had a couple classes thus far. They had a photography class, an Excel class that went over very well. That was well attended.
So who, is Jamie the one who's really like promoting everything out there right now?
She will be. There isn't anything on this right now, but she will set up on the city's website. She'll have, right now Merit Center is under like venues to rent, but it'll have its own tab, and this information will be housed under that tab.
So currently it's like social media shares, things like that, like that's how people are knowing about these classes?
Mm-hmm.
So the funding, if you're wondering, it's the old Connected Careers still has a bank account, and that's who's funding, who will be paying the salary for now.
Until it's kind of self-sustaining?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you ask who's promoting it. Hopefully this person.
Right.
now.
Because
Yeah.
right now, I mean, for that, Colton Bickle does some from the economic development side. He's held some classes out there.
Yep.
I know the fire departments have some classes out there, but there is really not a lot of promotion.
Right. So this person would be act as that voice then as well.
Michelle helps us out there. She gives tours of the building, different things like that. But as far as promoting, that's not her job.
I went out, I don't know, a month or so ago and sat in on one of their meetings, and just, yeah, it's kind of like, if it's going to grow, I think there needs to be someone else who is kind of their gig.
Right.
So, what are you asking us for? Just
I'm not
like
asking for
approval?
anything except for you to put your eyes on it, and if you have any questions, let us know. If you have any comments, suggestions, before we put it out to the public.
Would you need? Would it have to have approval from City Council? Since this is kind of an advisory.
It's a merit board. It's unclear the status of what merit board really is.
This is like the Hive.
It is essentially a derivative of city government, of City of Decatur government. And it would be best that merit board make a recommendation for a hire to the city and have council or board of works approve the hire.
I think to have a paper trail, it needs to, and I think there's some things that need to be called up to speed with the merit board, where they need to advertise and they need to open them to the public. There's some things that need to happen. Who is the president of the merit board right now?
I believe it's Craig Koshaw.
Okay. Those are some things that, I just think we need to catch the merit board up to speed. But I mean, I think this role is needed. I mean, I don't get me wrong. It's needed.
For tonight's purposes, I think you guys are on the right track and
Great.
yeah.
I'll let him know.
But
So do we need a motion for council to approve?
For us to move forward with posting it.
Right.
Wouldn't hurt.
it's not going to hurt.
I'll make a motion to go ahead and give permission to the Merit Center Board to post the job, Learning Center Coordinator.
Second. Motion is second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Kevin G. I know you announced in the Board of Works. We could do it here in council too, the new SRO for Belmont.
Yes, yeah.
Andrew Elwell is who will be taking over the SRO assignment. He was 1.5 years with Montpelier PD before he came to us in 2019. He's coming up on his 5-year anniversary with us. And he's a technical sergeant at the 122nd Fighter Wing. He's been with them for 10 years. He's excited about it. He's going to train with CODA for the month of June. CODA already knows what he's doing, so it's up to Andy on how long his will last. Sounds like maybe 3 to 4 weeks, could be as soon as 2. Depends on how quick he picks that up. And then in July he'll go to his SRO class, 2 week long. And then August school starts.
Question regarding Officer Elwell and his military commitment. If he were to be called up or deployed or something like that, do we send someone else to the school? Do they not have someone while he
We'll have to fill that gap.
Okay.
So that doesn't
It has, though.
He was just deployed,
Yeah.
In what?
22.
Year
I just
and a
didn't wanna-
half, maybe?
Yeah, he came back right before Christmas of 22.
I was hoping to hear you would fill that gap while he would,
Right.
if that were to arise.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
No, I think
MOU.
we're committed to having an officer in the
Okay.
school.
Okay?
All right, well, thank you for that.
Yeah, he's excited for it.
All right, thanks.
I'm not sure.
E-O-W-E.
Jeremy, do you want to discuss the handicap parking spot on at 247 North 6th Street?
Ordinance. Ordinance.
Oh, so we have
We have an ordinance.
an ordinance for it too. I know
Oh,
somebody.
I'll talk about it. I went there, I met with the owners that are requesting the handicap space. I know when it was brought up at last meeting, we were questioning, they have like a parking space right next to their home. Why aren't they using that? There's a big tree that's there that drops sap down over their car all the time, so they never park there, really, any time of the year, actually. But the street is really narrow. There's only parking on the one side. There's several homes with driveways that they cannot park in front of them. Both residents are They also have an adult son who is, I can't remember if it's deaf or blind. Blind, I believe. Yes.
Blind.
So there is signage there on the street indicating that. So yeah, I think that it's definitely warranted. So.
Any more clarification, Jeremy?
No. I've spoken with her a few times on the phone before this meeting and before the previous one.
Right.
I don't see how you can really deny it. It's definitely a warranted request.
Right.
So I would highly suggest that you
Right.
approve it because they're, just terrific.
Right. And it needs to be known that handicap spots that we award on the streets to certain areas are still public parking. Right. I mean, they're not owned by the house or anything. It's still a public handicap parking spot.
Do any of those get cleaned up when there's not a need for them anymore, or do we still have? How does that just out of curiosity?
Yeah, normally a new resident will tell you, or you're just realizing, while we're out doing different maintenance and things, and then we will the resident say, hey, is this still needed? A lot of times we try to do that when we have to go out do maintenance and remark them. There's going to be a remarkable when the house is sold. There's really no process that they have to come in and request every year or every couple of years. It's just one request and it's in the ordinance.
Thank you, Jenny, for looking into it, meeting with the resident. I'll make a motion to grant the request on the recommendation of the...
We have to read an ordinance.
Oh,
Not.
sorry.
Because this has gotten brought up at last meeting,
So
and
it turned it into an ordinance.
I had an ordinance last meeting. But I think additional inquiry was going to be made into the necessity of it. So, ordinance 2024-6. And this ordinance amends it's chapter 78, schedule 3, and that is a table that lists all of the handicap parking spaces located within the city. So this just adds one space on 6th Street to accommodate.
Okay.
It's 2024-6, correct? Correct. Okay. I move to introduce ordinance 2024-6 on its first reading by short title only.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Ordinance 2024-6, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Decatur which amends Chapter 78, Schedule 3 of the Decatur Code of Ordinances of 2015 as supplemented regarding handicap parking spaces.
I move to pass ordinance 2024-6 on its first reading.
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call vote?
Jenny Bauer Schultz.
Yes.
Matt Dyer.
Yes.
Tyler Fulenkamp.
Yes.
Scott Murray.
Yes.
Abby Wilder.
Yes.
I move to place ordinance 2024-6 on its second reading by short title only.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign.
Ordinance 2024-6, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Decatur which amends Chapter 78, Schedule 3 of the Decatur Code of Ordinances of 2015 as supplemented regarding handicap parking spaces.
I move to pass ordinance 2024-6 on its second reading.
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call vote?
Jenny Bauer Schultz.
Yes.
Matt Dyer.
Yes.
Tyler Fulenkamp.
Yes.
Scott Murray.
Yes.
Abby Wilder.
Yes.
I move to table ordinance 2024-6 until our next meeting on May 21st.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Okay. Well, we'll stick with the ordinances. We have an ordinance pertaining to employee incentives or recognition. I should explain. So, Kevin and I have been meeting with PHP and Adams Hospital, Adams Health Network, about doing a health fair for our city employees. And we wanted to give some incentives for those that would come have testing and then have follow-ups with their primary physicians. And the other thing we're hoping is to see them do heart scans. PHP is doing this with some of their other companies, and from our standpoint, it's just about having healthy employees, right? So all of the I don't think everything's been, all the details have been completely ironed out, but it's pretty close. We have a flyer that you guys can take a look at. I don't know if, did you bring one, Kevin?
I brought one.
But with this health fair, we're hoping to do some testing and then offer a half day off, and if they follow up with the heart scan and a visit with their primary physician to go over the results of their blood tests and everything, and then we were hoping to give away a vacation day to everyone that participates in the program. So we would need an ordinance to be able to these types of incentives.
And if they don't want to participate?
No one has to. Yep. It's totally voluntary. But PHP's had some good luck with other companies.
Sure.
I mean, people have caught some things, and I don't want to really say that I want to catch some things on people, but I'd catch it before it gets bad.
Yeah.
And that's the whole idea. As a nurse, do you have any questions?
Is this, I mean, who is this costing?
PHP.
PHP. They're
Okay.
covering the heart scan for everyone.
No, I love the idea of just the city supporting its people, the people that work for the city, and even setting an example of how a company, you know, the city is a company, how a company should treat its employees, so I'm for it.
I went to my daughter's nursing graduation this weekend, and the keynote speaker preached preventative care, preventative care, preventative care to these young nurses. And this is
And so this ordinance is kind of flowing from the notion that the extra vacation time that would be available to a full-time employee by participating and following up with this serves as an incentive. And from time to time, there may be other situations where it would be appropriate for the mayor to be able to use discretion in awarding additional vacation time to full-time employees to either incentivize participation, to reward maybe an extraordinary act of service within the community, or as a means of promoting morale within the employees. So an example might be like for the employee Christmas party to be able to gift or use as one of the raffles a paid day off. So for those types of situations, this ordinance would create that council approval to give the mayor some discretionary authority to issue those types of paid vacation times to use for those limited purposes. This isn't something that's going to be, you get a vacation day and you get a vacation day every week. But, you know, in limited circumstances and for unique opportunities that arise without always having to come back and do this type of an ordinance each time. So it specifically states that those, what I just stated, incentives, extraordinary acts of service, or as a means of a mechanism to enhance morale of city employees, the vacation time would be utilized in 1/2 or 1 day increments. They would be valid for a defined period of time, exceed a 1-year duration. They're not transferable. They don't carry over from you can't
Roll over.
You can't bank them for 10 years of service and then, cash in all of your mayor-provided extra vacation time. But these are specifically meant to be in addition to defined vacation periods of time stated within the employee handbook, and it is meant to stay within the current and existing salary ordinance in effect at the time that it's issued. So this is a way to provide an extra incentive without incurring additional costs for the city.
Questions? Clarity?
I think it's a great idea. I think you're going to maybe get some angry people if things aren't handled properly, so it'll be, I'm sure you'll
There'll be some
do it
issues.
right.
Yeah, there'll be issues as far as
Right.
that. And then we've talked with the hospital and PHP, and some people have already had these
I wasn't concerned about this one, but as
down the road.
somebody will say, well, why don't you think what I did was awesome?
Right.
You give them a vacation day, but you give
Yeah,
Giant
and maybe that
vacation
one's
days.
not utilized very
You
often.
give
I don't know.
I don't see it being used very often.
Yeah.
Be very selective.
Yeah, I really like the idea of using it to promote wellness and encourage people. For like, hey, maybe instead of work today, you go walk on the trail for 8 hours. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, again, an incentive for people to invest in themselves. So, yeah.
As long as it's clearly documented in the employee handbook of how they use it and such, then.
Well, their vacation time is their vacation time, but how full-time employees earn and receive vacation is defined within the handbook. This would be meant to be, if someone's been here for 10 years and has 80 hours of paid time off or 2 weeks of vacation, this is meant to add an extra day or two to that time frame. So that's kind of how that is referenced or meant to be perceived.
Great.
Any motion for this ordinance?
Yes, it would be.
Read the whole thing.
Introducing it.
Yeah.
No, you don't want me to read it the whole thing.
Well, I know. Okay, I know what you're saying. Okay, I move to introduce ordinance 2024-7 on its first reading by short title only.
Second.
Thank you.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign.
Ordinance 2024-7, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Decatur authorizing mayor to extend additional vacation time to full-time city employees.
I move to pass ordinance 2024-7 on its first reading.
Second.
Motion is second. Roll call vote?
Jenny Bauer Schultz.
Yes.
Matt Dyer.
Yes.
Tyler Fulenkamp. Yes. Scott Murray.
Yes.
Abby Wilder.
Yes.
I move to place ordinance 2024-7 on its second reading by short title only.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign.
Ordinance 2024-7, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Decatur authorizing mayors to extend additional vacation time to full-time city employees.
I move to pass ordinance 2024-7 on its second reading.
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call vote?
Jenny Bauer Schultz.
Yes.
Matt Dyer.
Yes.
Tyler Fulenkamp.
Yes.
Scott Murray.
Yes.
Abby Wilder.
Yes.
I move to suspend the rules and place ordinance 2024-7 on its third reading by short title only.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign.
Ordinance 2024-7, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Decatur authorizing mayor to extend additional vacation time to full-time city employees.
I move to adopt ordinance 2024-7 on its final reading.
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call vote?
Jenny Bauer Schultz.
Yes.
Matt Dyer.
Yes.
Tyler Fulenkamp.
Yes.
Scott Murray.
Yes.
Abby Wilder.
Yes.
Okay. Before we get to tax abatements, we have
Yeah.
We'll do that one.
should we have resolution for?
We can do that after.
I have two asks first. Okay. First ask, the Chamber's asking for a donation for the 4th of July fireworks. I don't know if
I don't have, I thought Craig would be here
Yeah.
to say that I don't have that amount of last year.
What is the amount?
I don't know. I don't know that we always do.
I'm
not sure we have-
had a sponsor. Like, there was something
We were always a sponsor for the fireworks.
I know they came up short. I know there were some issues last year, and it was a great fireworks show. There's a lot, I mean, it was really, but
He puts on an incredible show.
Yeah.
It is more expensive.
it was more expensive, and I know they came up short in the end, and there was a lot of run around at the end. Do we?
In our promotional fund, where do we sit?
I guess, do we know what we donated last year?
I don't off the top of my head, I'm
Don't
sorry,
have
I
it
thought
either.
Craig was gonna present that.
What is it, May? So we still have a second. We could still do it the next.
It's one of those things that people assume it's in Decatur, therefore it's a
It's a
Decatur
city, right?
event, when it's never had been. We give a donation for it.
Right.
Do we always donate in addition to like a company sponsoring it, or? 'Cause
I
there's-
think they get multiple sponsors.
Okay.
I heard the was like 22,000 last
Yeah,
year.
it's,
They go out and get sponsors from all the businesses
Yeah.
around
Right.
the
Okay.
But after Adam McGee did it for many, many years, a new person took it over, and, they don't have the same relationships necessarily. The show was awesome, but
Do you guys want to hold it off till the next meeting then, till we have?
I'd like to know what we gave last year
Okay.
first.
Yeah.
And then,
We'll move it for
if
next
we
meeting.
can up it, I think it's warranted. It brings a lot of people to town.
I thought I had like 1,000.
that's what I had, I had 500 or 1,000.
I thought he gave me a number like 2,000 he was asking for, but I'm not sure. Okay, we'll bring that back next week, or next 2 weeks.
Put them first on the agenda.
The next ask is, this is our first ask of our
Where?
opioid settlement money. Opioid settlement monies, which all the cities and counties across the state receive, as well as the state received half of it. And it has to be used for certain, there's certain guidelines to this money. Renee LeBlanc from Crossroads Community, who has started a recovery home in Bern and is looking in Decatur, and has some office space. He sent he asked if he needed to be here to present it, but I just figured this would be enough. He kind of breaks down all of his expenses, what he can do with the money, everything he's doing right now. The opioid settlement money, we're literally only getting around $20,000 over the next 16 years, and it was top heavy, so I think we've received a little over $6,000 now.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's a ton of money, especially going over 16 years. So he is requesting $6,000, and I think that's just under what we have right now in
Just
our
over
opioid money.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think, and I'm not sure, but I'm not sure that Bern didn't just tell him that he can have it each year. But
We're
the way,
talking hundreds of dollars a year
Yeah.
moving forward. That's nothing. Yeah,
Yeah.
we got $3,000 out of a restricted settlement, and then now that's all going to the state, the county.
Right.
The initial
If it's not over a certain amount, it goes directly to the county. So I just asked them just to do it every year. And in case something else comes up and somebody says, hey, next year we could use $300 or $400 for this program.
Yeah.
But for right now, I mean, this is our only ask. We have that money sitting aside for this use.
Sure.
What was it, 6,000 was the ask?
Yeah.
I see that.
I have a good story. A guy comes to town with a food truck, and now he's
So his
leading the
backstory
way.
is he used to run recovery homes in Louisiana. And he married a lady from Bern, and they moved up here, and he said, what am I going to do with myself? And he started the food truck, the Cajun food truck, and he just said he back to what he grew up doing. He's a recovering drug user from down in Louisiana and got into the recovery side of it and said he misses it. And that's what he wants to do. I wish he still had
I'd be willing to make a motion to give him his request this year.
I'll second.
Motion second. Any more discussion on the opioid settlement money? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Okay, on to discussion over various tax abatements. Where do you want to start?
Let's start with JK. Okay, so I sent everybody these to review prior to. We'll start with JK Morris Holdings, Gilpin. This is year 9 out of a 10-year abatement for real property. I believe I sent you the owner's comments on why their numbers are down. They're actually up 2 employees from last year than they were in their last SB1, or last CF1, but they're still short of the 24 that they estimated back in 2015.
I think from what I read, it's just even like a struggle. I mean, the economy is a struggle. And we're in year 9, so it's not even like a huge...
It's not a big
Correct.
benefit or a big loss.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can tell you this, the new owner over the last few years he's doing everything he can to keep the doors open there and keep employees. He really is. He's had some contracts they thought they were going to have right before COVID that fell through, and just from knowing some long tenured employees there, they said he's doing everything he can to keep it open.
I make a motion to grant the abatement.
I'll second.
Motion is second. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign.
Okay, move on to Rev Group. We have 2 abatements. This is year 4 of a 10-year abatement for both personal and real property. Like I said, I sent you these to review. Their numbers are down compared to what they estimated back in 2019 again. And I sent an invite to the meeting. I didn't hear back if anybody was going to show. So. And I didn't get any sort of mail explanation or anything of what the difference is.
I mean, I'll just say Red contributes greatly to our community in many, many ways. Again, like the economy fluctuates so much with RVs, and those are my thoughts. I think, if nobody else has any further discussion.
It's just an up and down business.
It is.
Right.
I wish someone would either have sent something or
Showed up.
showed up.
Yeah.
but it is a decades-long partnership with Decatur.
Mm-hmm.
And to that, I'm inclined to also make a motion to grant this abatement, both abatements, forever. At one time, they were the biggest employer in Decatur.
Again, I don't think it's a lack of trying. I mean,
Right.
I know Alan very well, and I know he's doing everything he can.
And just one thing, is their hourly rate is up $3 more an hour than what they originally thought back in 2019.
What is that hourly rate?
$24.24 is what they have on here.
$24.24 an hour.
Good.
It was estimated at $19.44, and they're
So
actually
when
paying.
major employers like that raise theirs, it really raises it among many in the workforce throughout Decatur, because it is competitive for those employees. So that's very good news for the people that are working. That in a climate where everything costs more, they are getting paid more.
From Matt.
I'll second. Do we have to do them separately, or we can do them together?
Preferred to do them separate.
Okay, yeah, we'll do them separate then.
What do
One
we
for
have?
real and one for personal property.
What do we have?
A motion, then we need two separate
Okay.
motions. yeah.
Which
So one is
motion for?
The real estate.
Second.
Motion and second on the real estate. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Now a motion for the personal property.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
I'll get you all these after the fact. Okay, Hoosier Pattern, they have 6 tax abatements. 3 personal property and 3 real property. They have 2 that they applied for in 18, 2 in 19, and 2 in 22. So we're on year 6 from 2018, year 4 from 2019, and it's the second year from 2022.
So
They're all 10-year abatements.
what are the 3 different ones on the real property?
One from 2018, improvements but not limited to walls, bathroom, climate control, roof, sprinklers, suppression system, concrete doors, parking. That's from 2018. 2019 was LED high bay lighting, electrical, gas, water, battery pickup, foundation modification, expanded break room, remodeled conference room, and coat existing floor. And the one in 22 was a pole barn, 50 by 100 pole barn, railroad sand transfer system, 4 sand storage silos, HVAC, LED lights, insulation, floors, electrical paint.
So,
Final.
I thought Keith was going to be here.
I thought so too.
He surprises me. Totally name recognition.
Were those the real property?
Those were the 3. Oh, you want to know the personal property ones too? Okay, well, we're doing
he
it.
said no.
Oh,
I
no.
just thought you were just over there reading away.
Oh,
Done now?
Yeah.
Did you give any update on the numbers? Like what?
So they estimate on their SB1, they'd have 45 employees with $2 million in salary roughly. They have 91 employees and $3.3 million in salary.
Good group to work for.
I'll make a motion to approve the real property abatement.
Do we need to do 6 of these motions?
No, to do the real.
There's 3 of each.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So we're going to make a motion to approve the,
Real
entertain
property.
a motion to approve the real property for the 2018 abatement. 20.
So moved.
Sorry.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
And motion for the 2019.
Well, there's the
2018 personal.
personal property.
Oh. Go ahead. So moved.
Second.
Motion and motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
2019 real property.
Entertain a motion to approve the 2019 real property.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Entertain a motion to approve the 2019 personal property abatement.
So moved.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Entertain a motion to approve the 2022 real property abatement.
So moved.
Second. Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
And entertain a motion to approve the 2022 personal property abatement.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Thank you, Ann.
Yeah.
Hands the best.
I just made you do 6 separate motions.
I appreciate the businesses that come every year and just let us see you. We can't always get to all of your businesses and know you. I know these meetings can be long to sit through and wait for your turn. I get it, but I appreciate it when they do come.
Very much.
Agreed.
And I appreciate all of them investing in our community. You know, we are open for business.
For sure. So, that's all the actual abatements, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now we have Champion Homes to talk about?
Yes.
Yeah.
They wanted to, their abatement was supposed to start this year, or 24, maybe 25. They reached out to Colton, and Colton reached out to us. They have not had all their equipment and billing in service as of the beginning of this year, so they would like to push that back to 25. Does that sound correct?
Yeah. My understanding is that their real property abatement is starting this year. That was my understanding.
Oh, I never received anything from them.
But as for the personal property, that was Luann from the auditor's office had indicated that real property was starting in 24, and that if personal property, so equipment installation was underway but not fully installed or in use, that could be started in 25. So it was recommended that council pass a short resolution that just clarifies that upon request by Champion Home Builders, Inc., that you are acknowledging that their tax abatement is going, for personal property, is going to start in 2025 because it's not fully installed and not in use during this calendar year. So what that means is any assessed valuation that they do have on personal property, at that any increase, they're going to pay 100% tax for 24, and their abatement period just doesn't, it just holds this year and starts next year. So I have a resolution to that effect. It's just entertain a motion to introduce it by short title only. It's a supplement to the confirming resolution that was passed in July of 23 that initially awarded their abatement.
So as far as their real property, no. I don't know how that process works if they don't get it approved and back to the county by May 15th is when they're due.
So I have from, is it Rem?
Mhm,
Rem, an email from
And I
last
saw that, and I
Wednesday
didn't read it.
that just says that personal and real estate are to start in 24 or 25. Technically, they can start in 25 but only if the machinery that is on the abatement has not been up and working. That being said, if machinery was not in production as of January 1, 24, it would start on the abatement in 25. The real estate will start this year.
Okay.
So that's why this resolution is only pertinent to the personal property abatement. And so what that's going to mean moving forward is that Champion Homes is going to have a staggered abatement schedule. So their real, next year is going to be year 2 for their real property and year 1 for personal property. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
What number is this?
3.
Resolution 2024-3.
I move to introduce Resolution 2024-3 by short title only.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Resolution of the Common Council of the City of Decatur supplementing the effective date of Champion Home Builder, Inc. personal property tax abatement schedule.
I move to adopt Resolution 2024-3.
Second.
Motion is second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Okay, you done with all that? Everyone signing? Anything else? Anything else? I just have one update, with our beautification program that our Mayor's Youth Council is running. We had 21 applications. We awarded $10,159 out of the $15,000. In the total projects, there was over $43,000 of work going to be done.
Wow.
So-
Yay. That's
For a
really
couple
cool.
examples, what are they doing?
I have that.
Just
Well, if I have the addresses, I can tell you the address. Everything from mulch and bushes to painting front doors to replacing railing on their decks out front and different. And it's all over town, everywhere from Monroe to Mercer to High to Woodridge to Briarwood Trail to 4th, 5th, 11th, all over. So,
That's great.
Very cool.
well, I think we do have a little under $5,000 left, so I think we may open it up again. But it was a great project for the kids, and I hope this all gets finished. I think we have just about all the contracts signed. There might be 2 more that has to be signed. So, yeah.
Terrific.
So hopefully season. What's that?
How many total?
21 applications. Yep.
Well, it was well received.
Yeah. And I think it'll be more. Anything that's new, it takes a little while, and they'll see their neighbors doing it.
Yeah.
So,
That's great.
yep, excited about it. Okay, department heads, Jeremy.
Going along with that, we have 18 different property sidewalk program.
Great.
Out of 50,000, you're down to right at 16,000 left. It's not all spent yet, but that's what's available at this point. Took some time and went through the paving areas and such and educated the people that your street's going to get paved, this is going to get done, that. We had real good success with that. So hopefully, we're going to get started on those around the 20th of May. Hopefully, as neighbors see it, the rest of them will decide, hey, that really looks nice, let's do this. It's a lot in Scott's district, Scott's area, along 5th Street. It's a very populated street. You're going to see quite a bit of improvements down there, so that's all good. We've been working with Brooks Construction, trying to get that paving schedule set for the round of community crossings. Hopefully it'll be early summer here so we can enjoy the rewards of stuff we're putting in. Little update on the Kikianga project, immense softball and co-ed softball field. Hopefully in the next 2 weeks that will be completed. Men's softball is postponed their season until we get that completed. They want to start and finish on that field, so we're hopeful that the rains will hold off a little bit. Instead of raining every 3 hours, maybe it'll rain like once a week or something for a little while until we get that finished up. So other than that, everything's going pretty well. We got a lot of little projects going on, a lot of bigger stuff. So start seeing everything in gear this summer here really soon. Just as also as a reminder, July the 10th, we will have a contractor for the 5 Points project, so we know where we're at with that. Also, last year at budget time, you guys have approved ordering a dump truck chassis. That was tentatively scheduled to be in October, November of this year. It's sitting in Fort Wayne right now. So it showed up 8 months early. We do not have the money budgeted for the rest of the equipment. So we're just find a spot somewhere to get that in storage. Figure out the budget's approved and such this year, so we get a bid and stuff like that purchased and put on. So other than that, that's about it.
Okay. Thank you. Along with that Kikianga project, we probably will have a ribbon cutting at some point. If you remember, there 50,000 of that, those dollars of that fund came from Patronicity. So we'll invite them from the IHCDA up here because that's the Stockton Fishing Pond, the dog park, and the ball field. So we're just been waiting on the ball field to get done. So sometime in the next month or two, we'll have a ribbon cutting for that. Kevin G. Nothing? Smiley? Jeff? Hey, you.
A couple months ago, I talked about Fire Ops 101 for elected officials. Excuse me. The day that Portland has theirs planned is actually Decatur Day here. So we are opting out. We're going to have our own probably later in the fall. So I'll have more information coming up.
We'll get ready.
You ready?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. We'll make it August, the hottest day of the month.
Okay. That's fantastic.
Speaking of that downtown Decatur Day, I don't know if people have seen, we are having a raffle for a brand new golf cart. It's supporting Decatur Main Street. So you'll be seeing those tickets around.
I got one.
Yep. Hopefully give Main Street some money that they can do some more, have some more events, more festivals. And
Where's
things.
that being advertised?
I
On
don't know.
Facebook? Or
Jamie's probably doing it. We just passed out the tickets last week, so I'm not sure where all.
out there?
Yep. But I believe we're going to get the golf cart probably soon, and then we'll have it at different events. So. Kurt.
I'm talking to Jeremy today. Sounds like our skateboard park is start construction here in the next couple weeks.
Awesome.
So I'm going to need to reach out to the vendor for the parts that we have to order.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we get that thing going there.
Cool.
Where's that located?
Yeah.
By the
pool.
Northward Park, by the basketball courts, by the pool.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, it got re-asphalted last year,
Yeah.
and then now we're going to put the new things on it.
Good. Okay.
Awesome.
There are a lot of kids over there that play on that.
There are. And
Play basketball.
it was a fun experience for Kurt and I to bring these kids in here and see their eyes light up when they found out they weren't being yelled at. They were being asked to be involved in picking equipment for their new park, so it was pretty cool. Aaron. Bill.
Good.
Okay. Anything from council?
Nothing else.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to pay the claims.
Second.
Motion second to pay the claims. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
And a motion to adjourn.
Second. Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.